Well, hello there. This is your buddy Dave over at Mars X3D. And Neville Thompson's Knockluft Plateau PDS is an amazing gigapan filled with anomalies. Nothing was spared when the global cataclysm struck Mars. So here's another scene of brutal devastation stretching all the way to the horizon. Okay, in this shot, this is a case where everything you see in this close-up view is an artifact. Take the time to look at all the various items and judge for yourself. The two locator dots are pointing out some truly wild artifacts. Kind of a shame that's all the resolution we can squeak out of this picture. I'd love to do a close-up on them, but they're at the limit of resolution. Now this next one is a nice piece of archaeology tucked up under a cliff. This looks like the large, symmetrical facade of a building to my eyes, with ornamentation on the corner piece. I mean, look at the carving, the curves, the angles, and the overall symmetry. You don't agree? Okay, well let's take an even closer look. This ain't pareidolia, folks. As far as I'm concerned, that right there is legitimate exoarchaeology. Hey, do you remember that old show Kung Fu, where David Carradine as a child is warned by his blind master not to step on the grasshopper in front of him? And he asks him, "Oh man, how is it that you can sense the grasshopper?" And his master answers, "Young man, how is it that you cannot?" When you spend years looking at thousands of images searching for non-fractal items, after a while they just pop right out at you. Maybe you can see that for yourself in this context view, although I circled them to make it a bit easier. Take a look around. This entire area is a ruined complex, and what I call a capstone cottage is right there in the upper center, plain to see. But look at the locator dots. The one in front looks like it could be a sarcophagus or maybe a toppled statue. Up there on the right, what looks like a stone joist juts out of the sand. Moving over to the other one, there it sits, plain as day, with some kind of circle carved on its right side. Other architectural debris lies scattered everywhere. This would be an exoarchaeologist's dream if only we had some high-resolution images of it. If that's part of NASA's mission, it sure seems like they're keeping it to themselves. This next one is one I came across several years ago and published it as an old-fashioned flat image. But with Neville Thompson's beautiful PDS on this solve, I couldn't resist going back and giving this one the full treatment. Down there in the center, and even at this distance, you can see what looks like a broken off thumb. Now this is crazy. It looks even more like a thumb up close. There's even knuckle wrinkles on it if you look closely. Man, how I wish I knew the story behind this one. It kind of looks like it might be hollow, the way there's a tatter on the left side. It makes me think of those giant fiberglass figures you used to see in front of burger joints or tire dealers, tourist attractions. If this is just an accident of wind and sand, then I think this is probably the most amazing one I've ever seen. And it's big, maybe 5 or 6 feet long. So if this came off a statue, then it was one humongous dude. You'd think there'd be other pieces nearby, and of course the area is filled with anomalies, but no more body parts. This one's a classic anomaly shared by almost every other leading researcher years ago. It's large, it's easy to see, and it's absolutely artificial. So this is a good one to share with skeptics. Do you know any rocks that look like this on Earth? Neither do I. This looks like a pre-fab entranceway to me, one that's seen better days. But take a look around. On the immediate left, a block of cement with rebar sticking out of it. In front of it, a shaped black rock with what could be carving on its surface. Behind and to the right of the black rock, another structural component. And then in the background on the right, another box-like structure. I know there's a lot more in this image. You can see it all for yourself. The point is, this is all manufactured material, folks, not random rocks. Hey, thanks for stopping by and having a look today. There is a whole lot more to come. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing. And in the meantime, this is your buddy Dave over at Mars X3D. Be well.